Lesson 9C, Angle Relationships and Equations, Day 2. We're going to pretty much do what we did yesterday, but with one more relationship thrown in there. Okay? Finding missing angles based on the relationships. You're doing that by solving equations. Does everyone know what a periscope is?
No.
So submarines, you know how you look into the thing and then it goes up above the water so you can look out? That is called a periscope. And it uses mirrors, because if you just look straight, you're looking into the water, or into the submarine, but you're actually looking reflections through mirrors above the water. That uses angles. Okay, so let's go over some background knowledge just to refresh your memory. What is a complementary angle? What do we know about that? Yeah. Two angles that add up to 90 degrees. What is supplementary, Sebastian? When two angles add up to 180 degrees. What is a vertical angle? Or what are vertical angles, Kathy? When they have the same measurements. Yes, they are equal to each other in measure. So like these red pairs are vertical and the two blue ones are vertical. So the relationship in this picture is which one? Complementary, which means that the two angles together equals 90 degrees. So if the whole thing is 90 together and part of it's 52, what's left over? That one has to be 38 degrees. Again, if this whole thing is 90 degrees and part of it's 23, what would be the leftover part? 67 degrees. Now, looking on your notes, number 1 has a very, very similar picture, but instead of just the leftover being x, the leftover is an expression. So you're going to have to use that expression. So the first thing on your notes, please write down the relationship. What is it?
Complementary.
Complementary. And complementary tells us that two angles add together to equal 90 degrees. So your equation should say something plus something equals 90, because that's what complementary means. So your equation, looking at that picture, what should I write down? Yes. X plus 3 plus 32 equals 90. Go ahead and solve for x. What does x equal? X equals 55. Now, do I have to put a degree symbol, or should I put a degree symbol behind that 55? No, that does not mean 55 degrees, because this picture is not asking for x degrees, so this is not 55. Don't put a degree symbol behind that answer. Also, don't even circle it. This is not the final answer. We want to know what the missing angle measurement is. And that missing angle is the value of x plus 3 degrees. So 55 plus 3 is how many degrees? 58 degrees. This is your final answer. And you always want to check your work. Make sure, we know it's complementary, right? So you have to make sure that 90 minus the part that's already there, the leftover should be 58. And is it? Which means your x answer was correct. So again, number 1, you set up your equation, you find x, you plugged it in to make sure that we got 58, because we knew that from being a complementary relationship, the other angle should be 58. The second one, what is the relationship? It is still complementary. Please answer that question on your notes. Complementary, again, means that two angles together equal what? 90 degrees. So your equation should say two angles together equals 90 degrees. And what are those two angles? 2x plus 7. And what's the other angle?
16.
So plus 16 equals 90. Please solve for x. When you add 16 and 7 together and then subtract it from 90, then divide by 2, you get 33.5. Do I put a degree symbol behind that answer?
No.
Should I even circle it and say I'm done? No, I'm not done yet. This does not say here in this question, in this picture, it doesn't say find x degrees. It says 2x plus 7 degrees. So I'm not done yet. What is 2 times 33.5 and then plus 7? What does that equal? Yes. Go ahead. Who agrees with 84 degrees? So this should be 84 degrees. Now let's check our answer. Does 16 and 84 together equal 90?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. So that means that our x equals answer was correct. Does everyone understand what happened? Does it make sense? No. Because this is not 90, right? This was 100, which means this number was wrong. So what was 33.5 times 2? Is 67. And then what's 67 plus 7? 74. So you should always check your answer. And now, going back to this, is 16 plus 74 90? Yes, it is. That one's the 90. Okay, always check your answer to make sure you didn't mess up on any of the parts. So, yesterday we talked about supplementary angles. This is what we're going to practice now, putting it all together. Supplementary means it adds up together to be 180 degrees. So, what is the relationship in this one? Please write that down. Supplementary, which means that it equals how many degrees? 180. So 2 angles together equals 180. So your equation should be 2 angles together equal 180, not just one of them. Okay, so what should I write? 2x plus 44 equals 180. Now some of you, I've been seeing you write 2x equals 44. You're going way too fast. That is not true. You just told me it's supplementary, which means equal 180. So your equation should have the equal 180 in it. If you wrote 2x equals 44 and you started solving for x, you totally forgot about the 180 part. Right? You just said it was 180. What happened to it? So make sure your equation matches what you just said. Now you're solving for x. Subtract 44 from both sides, and then divide by 2. 68. Should I put 68 degrees or just 68?
68.
Just 68, because this is a degree one, right? And it doesn't say x. It says 2x. So what is 2x? What is 2 times 68? 136 degrees. Good. This angle measurement is 136 degrees. But again, we want to check to make sure we did it right. It should together be 180. So is 180 minus 44 136?
Yeah.
Is it? You sure? Okay, that means you're correct. It was supplementary. X was 68. You plug it in and you get 136 degrees. Number 4. What is the relationship here? Good. Complementary. Which means together they equal how much?
90.
And it has to be both angles together. So if you write 4x plus 5 equals 90, you just picked one of them to equal 90, which is not true. Just looking at the picture, you can see that this one by itself is not 90. Together they're 90. You need to write both of them. So Nolan, can you tell me the equation you wrote down on your paper?
4x plus 5 plus 2x plus 7 equals 90.
That is a perfect equation. Please solve for x, everybody. X equals 13. Is that 13 degrees?
No.
Are either of the angles going to be 13 degrees? No, because neither of them say x degrees. This one is 4x plus 5 degrees. This one is 2x plus 7 degrees. So you need to plug it in for both of them. So it's complementary, you set it up, you solve for x. Then let's plug in the first one, which is 4x plus 5. So 4 times 13 plus 5, what did you get, Beth? Yeah, how many degrees was this first angle? 57 degrees. So that first one's 57 degrees. Now let's plug it into the second one. 2 times 13 plus 7. What did you get? Janelle? $33 degrees. Now you need to check. Does 57 and 33 together equal 90? Yes, it does, which means our x equals 13 answer was correct. Any questions about number 4? Okay, so on the back, we now have vertical angles involved, and I mixed it up with all the other kinds of relationships. So vertical means that they are equal in measure to each other. So if this one's 39, E is 39. If this one's 114, then F is 114. So looking at number 5, we only care about the 2 angles that we're pointing to, so ignore all the other angles going on. We have what kind of relationship going on? Vertical. Please write vertical. And vertical angles mean that they equal each other. They are equal in measure. So your equation should show that they are equal to each other. So what is one of the angles in the picture? One of them is 41, and it's equal to the other one. What's the other angle? It's x plus 9. Now we already know, because it's vertical, that this final answer is going to be 41 degrees. But let's just make sure, okay? Solve for x. What's 41 minus 9? 32. Not degrees, just 32. And then plugging it into the angle, which was x plus 9. So 32 plus 9 is 41, which is what we expected. We know it's vertical, which means it should be 41. That's it. Vertical angles are really easy, right? Great. Let's look at number 6. What relationship is in this picture? Not vertical. Supplementary. Please write supplementary in your notes. And supplementary, again, means that 2 angles add up to equal. And it has to be both angles together, not just one of them. So your equation should say both of them together equals 180. Tell me what's right. Tell me what's right for the equation. Setting it up.
3x plus 2x plus 5.
Great. Both of them together equals 180. And then solving for x. X equals 35. So, does that mean that this one's 35 degrees?
No.
Does that mean that this one's 35 degrees?
No.
Are either of them, is the x even a degrees answer? No, it's just a number. X equals 35, and then it just stops. That's it. No degrees or anything. But I do want to know how many degrees that big angle is, the 3x one. So you have to plug it in. What is 3 times x? What is 3 times 35? Joshua. Good. 105 what? Degrees. Please label it. It is not just a number, it is a measurement. You know how I always make you label inches, centimeters, feet, that kind of thing? This is the same thing. You need to measure the degrees. We're going to plug in x for the 2x plus 5 angle. So 2 times 35 plus 5 equals what? Did you do that one? What was that? 2 times 35 plus 5. 75 degrees. Please label it. 75 degrees. And then we need to check our answer. Is 105 plus 75 180? Yes, it is. So that means our x equals 35 answer was correct. So the answer is to find the missing angles. So we have supplementary angles. We set up our equation to find x, and then you plug it back in to find 105 degrees and to find the 75 degrees. Those two are your final answers. How big are those angles? 105 degrees and 75 degrees. Okay?